It's so nice to see you.
Yes, I'm so excited for today.
Yes, me too. Thank you for making the time to get together. Since ever since I met you with BC, I really love that community. It's something
Yeah.
very spiritual about it that's different from any other, creators class or workshop. So it resonated a lot with me, and it was a turning point, kind of turning inside, a little something inside to be even more vulnerable.
And that's where I met you. And this is the first time I ever did anything like this, right? So, any other course that I did before, we never spoke. We were always listening. So
Yeah.
the coaches always project their thoughts and feelings, but they don't interact, which is nice about BC's courses. I really got to learn about who you are,
Yeah.
and what you do. So it was really exciting to meet so many people.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful people. And Alina, I keep in contact with her as well. She came to my last workshop. It was so beautiful because, she does poetry as well. So it was nice to have her. And yeah, everybody there. I'm going to do the next one. Hopefully we see each other there as well.
Yeah, so during his course, I did my first poem and I made it a reel.
Oh, did I see that?
I don't
I
know,
don't.
but I can send it to you. It's about a dandelion growing in the concrete and how I never really fit in, right? So everyone around me is like this structured, rigid person, and I'm very like fluid and spiritual and different than
Yeah.
everybody around me, right? I don't really fit in anywhere, right?
Well,
So
we're
they
not
want
supposed to.
Yeah, so they want to pull me out like they think I'm a weed, but I'm the solution. I'm the medicine. Like I'm here, I'm open, but a lot of people are so closed off. So I just tried to really push
I got
myself.
goosebumps.
Yeah, same. I can feel your goosebumps. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I can send it to you. It's the very
Yeah.
first time I kind of created art that way, which was very therapeutic, and I never thought I would do that because I'm more of a painter, not with
Yeah. Oh,
words.
you paint as well. Oh my God. Well, I love all that you're saying. Like a year ago, I just changed my whole thing with coaching because I'm an authenticity coach, and
Yeah.
I do. I use inner child healing, but I use creativity. So did BC gave you a prompt, or you just decided to make a poem?
No, it just came out of me one day. I was journaling and it just happened. I never really wrote before.
Mm. So if you like writing, I have a private Facebook group, and every
Okay.
Monday I post a prompt,
Oh,
a poetry prompt. So it's for you to investigate and share if you want to or
yeah.
not. But I poetry was my first love.
Right.
Poetry showed me everything that I had forgotten about myself. I was born in Argentina, in a small town, and I was raised by my grandmother because my mom had to work at a very young age. And my childhood was, it looked like it was normal, but I was the only child for a very long time, and my grandmother was very strict. And I never had freedom for anything, like I was the kind of kid that don't be too loud, and don't color outside the lines. You better, like, I mean, every time I will be loud or say a joke, my grandmother used to pinch me under the table. So I learned very young that it was not okay to be me,
Hmm.
right? And I think that happens to a lot of us in our childhood, especially from age 1 to 7, that, we're born so beautiful and free and that essence. And then something happened and we realize, oh, I'm not perfect, right?
Hmm.
And then we start creating different personas. But, of course, at the time you don't know, but I was such a good granddaughter, and I was like, I used to iron with her and cooking with her and just walking in little pieces of fabrics in the floor so I wouldn't make little scratches. But all that was normal for me at the time. But now looking back, I realized that led me to a lot of things that I get later. But anyway, so my grandma died when I was 11. She was my everything, even though she was strict and very tough. She was everything I knew, and I love her so much. And I had to move with my mom and her boyfriend, and that was different. I never felt, a little bit like we were talking before, that I belong anywhere, right? I tried to fit in, but it was hard. They had two more kids, my sisters, which I adore, and I became also a little bit of a caretaker for them, but always with the feeling that, you know, I didn't belong. And by the age of 15, I went on vacation with my mom and her friends. Her boyfriend, the father of my sister, passed away, so it was just the single ladies and me. And yeah, and it was in a beach that was popular at the time. It's in Uruguay. It was called, it's Punta del Este is called. And this is the 90s, right? I'm 51 now, so I was like turning 15 that summer. And we were at the beach, and people will come with little like papers and be like, "Hey, you want to be a part of a beauty contest?" And I was like, "Oh gosh, I never thought I was like cute at all or anything. I used to walk like that because I thought I was so tall." But my mom and her friend, that they were like single, they go, "Wow, then we're gonna get to go to all these parties and just do it. Like, who cares?" And I was like, "Okay, whatever." So I did that contest, and the whole preparation, it was fun, but I never thought in a million years that I was going to win, because I always thought these things were arranged, right? That
Yeah.
everybody knew who was going to win. And me, I mean, I came from a little town, like, why will they want me to win, right? I have nothing special about me. But I ended up winning the whole thing. And it was a big deal at the time. And trips all over the world, like Greek cruises and London and France and everywhere, and Louis Vuitton luggage. And I was like, what is this? I didn't even know that was at the
You
time.
won all that from one event?
From one, it was a big thing.
Wow.
It was like if it was here, Miss USA or something like
Oh, I
that at the
see.
time.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't. I don't think it exists anymore. This was 1990, if you can imagine. I don't even know if you were born at that time, but I was like, so what now? And my mom is like, well, obviously you're not going. Oh, because they also offered me a contract with Ford Models, which is a huge like worldwide modeling agency, and they represent actors and stuff as well. And they go, we have this contract, you have this money guarantee, and you go and live with Eileen Ford, which she was like the founder and owner of the agency. Her and all of her cats in New York City.
And you did it?
And I did it.
That's
I really,
amazing.
Sarah, like I felt like I had nothing to lose,
Yeah.
everything. I finished high school in a night school,
Yeah.
and then I started traveling, and I did really, really well. I was everywhere, right? I was like, okay, this is freedom now. I'm going to find myself and this and that. But modeling is also, you are a chameleon. So I
Yeah.
was yet
Many
again,
masks.
yes,
Yes.
I was yet again what everybody else wanted me to be. And it looked fun, but I never really was satisfied. It was work and work, and the idea was like, okay, maybe when I'm in a cover of a magazine, I'm gonna be so happy. And then there is a cover, and I was happy for 5 seconds, and then I was like, okay, so now what? And then, oh, maybe if I'm in a billboard, and then okay, and now what? So I did it. I saved my money. I had moments of joy in the way. But years went by and went by and went by, and I moved to New York. I kept modeling and everything, but I was still very empty. I was not satisfied at all. And
Mhm.
everybody was like, hey, like, listen, you have the life. Everybody wants to. But, modeling also comes with pressure. When I first moved to Paris, after being in New York, it was a fashion of the heroin chic. It was a kind of fashion that everybody was so tiny. It was Kate Moss and a lot of these
Yeah.
models. And my mom emancipated me because she didn't want me to be a model. She wanted me to be a lawyer like her and my sisters. So at the beginning, I'm making enough money to pay for apartments and things like that. So, my diet was very limited. I wasn't going to restaurants, obviously. I was eating the cheapest things in the grocery store, which they were mushrooms and carrots at the time. So I got really, really tiny and my career took off.
Oh, wow.
And then I started making money, but then I was like, wow, like my worth is in my body, and I need to be like this tiny to keep working. So that was also a very hard time in my life, the pressure of being thin, you
Hmm.
know.
Yeah.
And it was hard. Like I don't think I ever got to have a full on eating disorder, but yes, I will control everything, like the
Mm.
calories and the amount of things, and then working out, which I still work out every day, but it was just like, I mean, if I don't work out, I'm not eating. Like it was a lot of pressure. And I never talked to anyone about this, to be honest with you, not my parents, nobody ever thought that it was anything wrong with me. I don't know why. No one ever asked me, are you okay? Is everything
Yeah.
okay? None of it, because I was the lucky one. So I moved to New York and things got a little better, because I started doing stand-up comedy. So I was
Yes,
able
I
to
saw
make
that.
fun. Yeah, that was I was able to make fun of my life. You know what they say about comedians,
Yeah.
right? They are a little bit of a sad people inside, and that's
Hmm.
just like a way of making light out of what was going
Yeah.
on.
Coping with it.
Yes.
Hmm.
So I felt a little better then. My relationships up to that, all the way there. I mean, while I was traveling and modeling, they were awful.
Mm.
I dated pathological liars, drug dealers, gay men. I don't know how in the world that there I will find out. I'm like, why will these people even want to be with me? I will
Yeah.
attract very, very bad people into my life. And when I started doing comedy, I was already in my late 20s. And when I was around 29, 30, I went on a blind date. So once I'm in New York, I remember it was the time of The Secret. And that was the first thing that I was like, oh my
Yes.
God, wow, The Secret. So I was like, I'm done dating like losers and bad people, evil people. And I made a list, like they said in the Secret, about what I
Hmm.
wanted in a man, and it was just like 3 pages.
Yes.
And a friend of mine was like, "Oh, let's go out. I have a boyfriend now. Please, you never go out anywhere. Let's go." And then he has a friend in town. I'm like, "Oh, a blind date." I'm like, "This sounds not so good." They were like, "Please, please." I'm like, "All right." Very out of character for me to do that, because my experience with men in general. So I go, and I'm like, "Okay, if we go for sushi and we go early, I go." This was New York City still,
Yeah.
and that's when I met my husband, that we've been
Yes.
together for 20 years now.
So I got full body chills when you said your husband because I
I
see your relationship online and I think it's
know.
so beautiful. And I think the fact that, you became a mom, it was a great part of your story. So
Yeah.
like just to watch your family grow online is just really beautiful. And the connection you have with your husband is absolutely like awesome.
Thank you, Sarah. But can I tell you, we went through
Of course.
very hard times, because even that all of these beautiful things were happening, I was still a people pleaser.
Yeah.
I was still the nice girl. And when I met him, and I was like, oh my God, he's so amazing. I didn't tell you my father divorced my mom when I was 1, so I didn't grow up with a male figure.
Hmm.
And he was divorced already, but he had kids from the other marriage, and it was that father like way of being, of taking
Yeah.
care of me, which I never had anything like that.
Hmm.
I was working since I was 15, and before that my grandmother. So I was just like, I'm gonna be everything he wanted me to be. So I became what he wanted me to be,
Again.
and I was really good at that because the practice from my whole life.
Yeah.
So, of course, at the beginning, everything is fantastic. And then we had kids and, busy and this and that. But as time went by, I started feeling like a disconnection again, right?
Mhm.
This emptiness. And I was like, what's wrong? I'm crazy. I might have a chemical imbalance, because why will I feel this way? I've had a successful career. I have 3 healthy kids. My husband adores me. I have the house, the cars, everything you can imagine, Sarah, that everybody will wish for.
Mm,
And I was like, I felt like I was the walking dead. I was just like walking
yeah.
with without that connection. And during COVID, I got really depressed. And I couldn't connect even with my own children. I felt so frozen, and I didn't know what to do. And even my husband was like, you have to do something. I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I started, self-help. I
Mm,
opened my Instagram account, and I was cooking right at the time. I wanted to create. That helped me a little bit. I became a meditation coach, right? So here I am, like, I have this, my diploma for that. And then I was like, I was still like there, not moving forward. So I ran into an advertising of Jay Shetty, and
mhm.
he was having the coaching certification, and I was like, maybe I take this, right? Maybe I take it, and it might help me. Like, I can coach
Yep.
myself. And that was the beginning of starting my way back to me a little bit. I went into a poetry retreat, and I don't know if you know who InQ is, Adam. He's a poet.
No.
He's contemporary. He's super cool. You will love him. And he was having a poetry retreat in Morocco. And so I went. And he gave us some prompts, and we sat there like under a tree. And the things that started coming out of me were like, whoa. I felt like I didn't know who I was anymore. Like, I had lost my life, that I didn't want to live anymore. Like, was I a mother? Was I a wife? Was I an ex model? Like, what do I want? Like, what's happening now? Like, how am I going to continue my life like that? Like, I don't want to.
Mm,
So poetry like helped me see the story that was in my subconscious, because as our true self, our inner child lives in our subconscious, but art, as you know, poetry,
mm.
painting, content, podcast, is the language of your authentic self. So that was that. That's when I was like, wow. And I was like, oh, I start telling my story, and people was resonating. And I was like, I want to do this for others. I want to help. So then I put my certification together with my meditation, together with my poetry, and I became an authenticity coach, an inner child healing coach. And that's how everything started. But when I start being myself, when I remember who I was through poetry and creativity and all that, not everybody wanted me around,
Mhm.
not even my husband, because I mean, it's not his fault that I pretended to be someone else,
Yeah.
pretended to be who he wanted me to be. And he was like, I didn't sign up for that. And that was the saddest part, because I lost a lot of people, friends,
Yeah, but your
acquaintances.
husband, that's hard, right? To
Oh
lose a
my
part.
God, my husband,
Yeah.
because I love him, because it's not that I was pretending to love him. I'm crazy about him still.
Yeah.
So I asked him to give me 6 months to see if he would like who I truly am. And it was hard, because certain things that I used to do, I'm not okay with that anymore.
Yeah,
I'm
because you put boundaries up. Now, when you first put those boundaries up, how did it make you feel? Like an imposter?
like I was an imposter, because I knew this was my true self, but I
Hmm.
felt so bad, because nobody told me to do this. Nobody pressured
Yeah.
me. Not my mom, my father, not my husband. Like, that was all out of me, because of the story I was telling myself since I was born, right?
Hmm.
In my childhood. So that was the story. You're not enough. You have to be where others want you to be loved, to be safe, to belong. It was really tough, and to stay strong, because sometimes it's easier to be like, well, I just put this mask and go on and just have a drink or five.
But you know what? You say that, and a lot of people do that. They'll mask the problem and they'll just move on. And then they'll have something like alcoholism, where you and your husband took the time and the space to sit and make space for each other to see if it's really what you truly wanted. And you probably grew a beautiful picture out of that, right? Like, it's now
Yeah.
you're probably stronger than ever.
Yes. Yes, but we still have to do the work,
Of
right?
course,
It's
every
not.
day. That's a relationship,
That's
like,
it, right? People think
yeah.
like, oh, I graduated. I have my authentic diploma. No.
No, no, it's not like that.
No. But yes, what grew out of that, it was beautiful. It's like you said, it was a dandelion in the cracks of the
Mhm.
cement. And that's why when you were telling me that you felt like you didn't fit in, who wants to fit in? You want to belong. And if you're a
Yeah.
dandelion, you belong everywhere.
Yeah,
Who
for
doesn't
sure.
want that? So yeah, that was my way back, and this is why I felt like it was my responsibility to share that, or either my social media, or when I go to the grocery store, or in any space that I show up, just to be my authentic self, to speak my truth, to not wear any mask, and be vulnerable. And this is how I found myself. An inner child healing for me has been such a powerful modality for that,
Mhm.
because it all goes back of when we form that identity out of
Mhm.
fear, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that you know this as well. If it happened to most people, then we don't even know we're doing it.
Yeah.
It's like it just runs. It's like a program that runs our life, and something terrible has to happen sometimes for us to make the decision to
Yes.
stop and to do the work, right? And that's when I was so sad and so depressed. It was just like a midlife crisis, people call it, but for me it was really an awakening, and that also
Mm.
changed my mentality about age. I am so in love with getting older, because I wouldn't go back, not even to yesterday.
Me wearing the black sweater in the turtleneck is like a protection or a shield. So,
Mhm.
like, just a little bit about my story is I'm a very grounded person. So, if there's a lot of shift or change, it's very frustrating for me, right? So, when I was 7, we moved. And I made that move traumatic, right? So nothing traumatic happened in my life, but I was very like new school, new friends, right? And then I moved into a town where everyone was farmers. So the farmers, they never move. So everyone had a close bond since they were little. And I was the new kid. So I was never really accepted in the group. And there was so much bullying, in the grade
Yeah.
school, kids are so mean. When I got to high school, I created my own identity and I
Mhm.
didn't allow labels or anything to, you know, put that burden on me. Like, I didn't wear clothes with logos on them because I thought it was silly.
Yeah.
Right. But right now, 90% of my clothing is still black because I want to hide. So when I
Mhm.
see you dress up and you talked about going to the grocery store, I just picture you in the grocery store as this little piece of sunshine. And I want to do that. I want to
Yes.
be that authenticity for myself. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So I'm going to read something, and I don't know why I wrote this out before the meeting.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, so you had a post recently. You were on another person's blog and you were talking about fitting in and belonging.
Mhm.
So you said fitting in is to change who you are to fit in. And that's what I had to do with most of my life. And belonging is authenticity. Who you are is enough. That's what you said. So
Yeah.
my purpose with SE01 is to teach people how to move through that stuck energy. So whether
Mhm.
that's personal, business, in a relationship, and in this online community, for the very first time, I felt like I found a place where I actually
Yeah.
belong. And you were one of the first people that I met because it was the 5-day challenge.
Mhm.
So I felt like a black sheep up until now. And
Yeah.
it wasn't until I spoke up and talked my truth into existence that I felt like home. And I had to create safety to be able to open up because even in my real life, I had to block 1,500 people in my Instagram from my hometown to be able to even feel comfortable to open up and speak. So if
Mhm.
you think about how small I've shrunk since I was little, whether
Yeah.
it's been child or high school or an adult, it hasn't been easy,
Yeah.
right? But like you show people, and I'm going to cry, but you show people what's possible. You know what I
Oh,
mean? So
Oh.
it's just so beautiful to see you dancing in a dress in your closet. Like, I want to do that. I want to come to your house and dress up in funny clothes and shoot a video and dance on the internet. But like, my visibility wound tells me no. So 2 months ago, I never spoke before on the internet or on like anywhere. And nobody knows how spiritual I am or how open I am or how authentic I live my life. I live very authentically, but I don't show it to many people.
Mm.
So my circle is very small. But I think that's my safety, and it shouldn't be that way. Like, when you dance online, I bet you trigger so many people, but you should.
Yeah, but you are doing the like I see, I see you like I know what you're saying, but you inspire me when we
Yeah,
were
thank
on
you.
that call. And I knew exactly that you were immediately that you were spiritual and you have a podcast and you're having conversations with all these people. So that's huge. That's a huge step. And now from now on, let's make the steps. You can do the little tiny steps to dance in your closet. I mean, you're
Yeah.
beautiful, you're smart, you're well spoken. We can all do that. And I
Mm.
promise, just one little step at a time. Once you do it, that's it. It's like pulling up a band-aid. Then you're like, I want to be that all the time. It's freedom. And you're meant to do that. And this is why I love inner child work because that little girl, like little Sarah, is
Mm.
there.
Yeah.
Little Sarah is trying to get out. She wants you to listen to. She
And,
wants you to listen to her and follow her advice to go get her. And you can do that.
and you know what's funny is I always wanted to dance and sing when I was little.
Exactly. You're
That might
supposed,
be.
that's it. Do you have any videos of you when you were little
I
doing
have
that?
pictures of me doing ballroom dancing. I did ballet, salsa. I did all kinds of stuff, but nothing like professionally or anything. I did everything with movement, so gymnastics, bodybuilding, CrossFit, competitive trampoline. But back then, there wasn't cameras, there wasn't video, right? So I don't know if you know how old I am. Let's play the game.
I mean, I'm really, really bad at this game. I want to say, I don't know. Well, you just told me there was no camera. So are you in your mid 40s?
Yeah, so I'll be 48 in August.
Yeah, makes
So,
sense.
yeah, so I'm not very far behind you. So I grew up in the same era of going to
Yeah.
high school in the 90s,
Yes.
and it was very similar energy and atmosphere that you had. Just you were just in a different place in your
Yeah.
life. So,
Yeah.
like, I can relate to a lot of the things that you've been through. I didn't travel the world, but very similar story. And then I think when
Yes.
I saw you in BC's class, I didn't know what authenticity coach was. And I'm like, I want to be like Lorena. Like, I don't even know what that is, but let's do it.
Let's do it. And what are you doing to become an authenticity coach? What are you doing now to take you there?
So, right now, I just did my human design with Barrett. And I'm
Oh,
learning that I'm probably going to help people create businesses. So let's say help you get your brand together. So like spiritual entrepreneurs have a hard time with getting stuck in their creative process.
mm,
So I will help them move them along in that energy. So maybe help them with a brand or a website or, getting their Instagram going. But like you, once you're going and you have your video and you learn how to edit, you're fine. There's a
yes.
lot of people that are waking up right now that need a little bit of guidance. And I think that's kind of where I'm going to fit in. I may not be, say, an authenticity coach, but I've been a graphic designer for 30 years next year. So, yeah, I've been around social media since the beginning, right?
So you can put everything together.
I
But
can
I,
either
I
help.
still,
Yeah.
I still feel like there is an urge for you to become that authentic self.
What I'll do is help people move through their stuck energy in all areas of their life, not just business.
Mm.
So if you're stuck in your personal life, you're really stuck in your business. Because
Yeah.
if you have money problems in your personal life, you're going to have money problems in your, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's the relationship of the spiritual entrepreneur is everything. It's not just creating a product. It's about becoming who you're authentically meant to be. And I think that's why the human design review was so important for me. And I think I'd love to learn and teach human design one day.
Yeah, I don't even know. I mean, I heard about it, but to be honest with you, I'm not so sure how that works.
So, do you know what zodiac sign you are?
Yes, I'm a Capricorn.
So you understand what Capricorn is, right? So human design, you are born at a certain frequency when you come to Earth. So your birthday, your birth time is what you need to know. So if you can find out your birth time, that would be great. And then your location. It gives you all different areas of your life. It'll tell me where I'm good in business or where I'm good in a relationship. So like, you have chakras and energy centers in your body. So, like, my throat chakra is one of the areas where I need to create business. But I've
Mm,
been a wounded throat chakra my whole life, right?
mm.
So now that when you met me on day one, I never spoke. On day three, I had a school and I had an Instagram and I had a business already.
I saw that happening. I
Yes.
was like, are you serious? Like, you're starting right now in front of my eyes. I was like, that is amazing.
Do
That
you want to know
switch.
why?
Yeah.
I'm a fire horse.
Yeah.
So it's the year of
Ah,
the
it's
fire
your
horse.
year. Yes.
Yes. So I don't have time to wait and I have a purpose. Now you have to understand that I've been through every tower moment and every trauma. My darkness and my light has been very extreme and I've already done all the work. So
Yes.
I'm very ready to run, if
Ah,
that's so last year I basically, had the dark night of the soul, the
mm,
ego death, all of the things, and it was very, very dark year. But I came out like that dandelion, like I came out and I'm ready to run and I'm ready to shine. And I think if I get any blockages, I just move through them quickly. So
yeah.
I did a inner child healing meditation one day, and it was the most powerful thing that I ever did. When I was, say, 7 and when I was 21, I grabbed those two girls' hands and I pulled them with me. And I kind of did like a log jam, I pulled those logs out and the water started to flow. So it was really great. I have a lot of work to do still, but yeah, I'm doing the work every day, like you say, a little bit.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, I love your story so much. Do you mind me asking what triggered that dark night of the soul? It was anything, or it was just like happened what happened to
Look at
me?
me smiling. Yes, I had a twin flame catalyst. Do you know what that
Okay.
is?
Maybe you have to explain a little more.
So a twin flame is a relationship that is a mirror of you. So
Yes.
the person did and said some things that brought me to a very dark place, and we end up splitting up.
Mhm.
And that
Yes.
relationship pulled me. It's the twin flame is a like a soul university. Let's put it
Yeah.
that way. Yeah, I think a lot of people have preconceived notions of what a twin flame is. Not everyone has a catalyst like I did. Some of them, they stay in that relationship, but the catalyst made me go inward. And
Mm.
the day that we left each other, I had to go inward. If you can understand the pain I went through, the pain of like you not wanting to do things, not a depression, but like a pain. So I went through that ego death, that dark night, and I had to do the inner work. And that's when I really started to grow, is when it was like a catapult. So I went to a place where I had to heal. I didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
You get to choose whether you create your pattern over and over again or if you want to heal from it.
Yeah.
And that situation made me learn so much about myself that I couldn't go back. It's like once you awaken, you
Yes.
can't go back to that darkness and live that, old way of living, or that they call it a 3D life. So
No.
I think that's kind of similar to what you had with your husband, where you went through that spiritual awakening and he's
Yeah.
like, I can't do this. Well, he either goes with you or he doesn't. And let's
Yeah.
say if he left you and went into another relationship, he would have repeat the pattern. But
Yeah.
he chose to elevate with you. And I give him so much praise because every time I rise, I lose my partner every time.
It's difficult. It's
Yes.
not everybody, but that's the destiny. It's going to be up until you meet the right person with you, because the option is like, or either that person grows or either you shrink. But like you said, when you already see who you truly are, your authentic self, and you're connected with that, you cannot go back.
Yeah.
You cannot, like, that will be the death of the soul.
So the one thing I know I'm meant to do here is to continue to rise. So I'm never meant to have a glass ceiling. It's just the way, like it's in me, and I know it's in me because every time I rise, my life expands. During our class, I had a conscious expansion. It was so uncomfortable, but I learned how to move through the energy, and I think there's a reason for that because then I can teach people. It gets really dense, and then you have to be able to grow. And if you don't grow, it gets really uncomfortable because
Yeah.
everything's moving at such a fast pace right now,
Yes, this is the
right?
time.
Yes.
I heard that the next 3 years is going to be like, or either you're in and out, and it's
Yeah.
all about spirituality. We
Yes.
talk about purpose, and we focus so much in what we're doing, but we're here in this world to see who we are becoming, not
Right.
what we're doing, what we're getting, what we're buying, who we're marrying. Like, the main purpose in life is to grow your spirituality, and that is very hard to comprehend in
Mm.
this world of like egocentric things and competitions and duality.
Yeah.
That it's going to be hard for the people that's not open to to that possibility, to the
Yeah.
idea of this is the main purpose. And when you go, and if I say it like that to my kids, it's like, yes, of course, I'm your mother and I love you to death, but there is also something that's more important, and that is like God, the universe, whatever you want to call it. Like, that is the connection. To grow spiritually, it doesn't have to be of me, that being a mother is more important or this is more important. No, the main thing is that, because when you become that person, when you become who you are, which is, we're all the same, right? A little piece of the divine, or
Mhm.
whatever you want to call it, then everything else is so small. Everything else just happens. When you are that light, everything else like flows and is beautiful. But not everybody thinks like that. And it's not their fault. It's just what we're dealt with. You're born and they tell you who to be, what to do, how much money to make, and what to wear. Basically. And that this is the idea of pretty, this is the idea of successful, and just get in the program. And people like you or like me, it's just that they go against it. It's very hard for us, but then
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's liberation, it's freedom,
But you have to
authenticity.
be your light. Like you have to shine your light because if you don't, you die.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm a Leo, so I'm a sun
Mhm.
sign. So I
Yeah.
give and give and give, and that's my natural state. And I don't respect anything in return. I just want everybody to be happy and
Yeah.
to enjoy it. Right. So I think it's really like, it's really truthful what you're saying.
Yeah. And what do you want
What do
for
I
you? What do you want for you?
um maybe by the time I'm 50 to be in a place where I'm truly happy.
Mm.
Yeah, just like you say, the full authenticity to be able to shine. Like I'm just getting started, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot that I have to move through still. Like I tell people I'm in like grade one. I'm just
Mhm.
learning all of this. It's going to take some time, but what I was taught is by me showing up and talking to someone like you and sharing our story online, we're showing people what's possible. And in that way, people in return can learn or grow and live in their authenticity. We give them a little bit of permission, let's say,
Yes, a lot of
right? A
permission.
lot of permission. Okay, I'm going to say a lot.
A lot, because people, like, we don't need to go there and just become something crazy or be a monk or just donate. All you have to do is be you, for people
Yeah.
to be like, I can do that too. And that's it. If that's your purpose, everybody's like so worried. What's my purpose? What do I have to do? How long am I going to find? No, your purpose is just to be yourself,
Yeah.
just to strip away everything that you are not and let people know that you are everything you need. You are
Yeah.
what you're looking for. So
Right.
when you do that and you position yourself wherever you are, your people is like, well, if she can embarrass herself dancing like that, because obviously she did not have any dance classes growing up. But when you're like, I just want to, like, who cares?
Yeah.
Did you read the book, the five regrets of the dying, from
No.
Bronnie Ware? Well, number one is not being more of myself, not
Oh,
doing
yeah.
things that I wanted to do. It
Mm-hmm.
was, imagine that. So why do we have to wait until we cannot do much anymore?
Mm-hmm.
You know, when who wrote the rules about who we have to be and what we have to be? As long as we are kind with
Yeah.
others, look, the best thing that we can do for others is work on ourselves.
Right. So when
And
you
then,
heal yourself, you heal the collective. That's what I like to say.
yeah,
Because
absolutely.
you're part of that collective, you're part of the energy. And if you do it for yourself and you show other people what's possible, you have like a peripheral around you, and your energy affects everyone else's. It just does. So if
Yeah,
you're happy and you go into that grocery store and you bump into a little old lady and she's having a bad day, but she sees you in your cute little pink frilly dress laughing and smiling at a melon, you know what I mean? They're just going to rise with you and they can't help it because you're so authentic.
and isn't that so beautiful?
I know.
It's just so beautiful. And also, it's like we have to be careful sometimes to know, because even all of this is happen sometimes you're like, oh my God, I have the power. And yes, okay, we have the power, but we're just an outfit.
Yeah,
We're sparks of light that belong to something bigger, that we're
right,
all the same, right? And this is the outfit, or the little car that brings our soul,
right.
and from there that we expand and we connect. And so it's like we do the work and we remember who we are, but it's not that we're special. We just remember, you
Yeah,
know?
so like the first time me showing up online, it's like me taking up space, and that felt uncomfortable because I never knew how to take up space before. Like so I was verbally abused my whole life. And so I played small, right? I listened to the footsteps or the tone of voice, and I had to be careful. So my whole life I just did what you did, and I became the person that my spouse or partner wanted me to be in a way, right? And then when I decided to change, that's when I would lose. And it wasn't that I was being inauthentic in the relationship. I was still myself, but I wasn't fully myself. Like I wasn't playing a role. I was still showing up as Sarah, but it's a smaller version of me.
Yeah, a part of Sarah.
A
A
part of
part
Sarah.
of Sarah.
Yeah. And then that part wants to burst out of you constantly. And then one day you just can't help yourself and you start showing up as more. And like you said, your husband said, I didn't sign up for this. And it's like, well, I'm still me. It's just more of me. Why don't you want more of me? Don't you love me? You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
very hard to hear them say that, but you have to stand in your truth and take up that space regardless.
Yeah, and you're doing a fantastic job. And
Thank
I
you.
know you say, like, by the time I'm 50 or whatever, but you're in this beautiful journey like right now. Like
Okay,
you're just,
so me talking to you and listening to your story, I had a very like emotional realization. I almost started crying. And I know we're just on the call and I'm like, I'm already doing the things. I'm already my successful CEO self interviewing people
yeah,
online, and my human design, I'm meant to listen.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm already like in the space. It's really beautiful. So thank you for
yeah.
giving me the opportunity.
No, thank you. This is all you. I mean, I always felt called to connect with you. And I don't know
Thank
if you remember,
Yes, I
even
do.
during our course, I was like, I want to be there. Let's do it. I felt like it was something about me and you. But, it's just that we are kind of in the same school, in the
Yes.
same grade, right?
Yeah.
And we are mirrors of each other.
Yeah, for sure.
We are mirrors of each other. And some people mirrors certain parts of us, some people's others. Um, and it's so beautiful when you see yourself in others and then you are like, yes, we're doing okay, let's continue in this journey. And the fact that you're telling me you did all the things and you did inner child work and all that stuff, that's
Mhm.
incredible that you have all that like under your belt. And I really hope you can make it to my workshop because you are going to love that journey.
Yeah, I think I will.
Yeah, you're going to love that journey. And it's nothing has to be so complicated. It's about truth and
Hmm.
vulnerability and courage.
Hmm.
And forgetting about all that pressure that we put in ourselves to be certain way or another one. Just be who you are right now. And that is such a alchemizing way for you and for everyone around you. And I'm super excited that you are in this platform and putting yourself out there.
Hmm.
And I hope that you are everywhere, and I hope that you kind of like record this journey of you. Maybe tomorrow's
Yes.
sweater will be a V-neck.
Oh,
Or
let's say.
I don't know. Maybe you wear a ponytail. You will just go
Yeah.
totally crazy and we wear a ponytail. But it all starts with a little something. It all
Yeah.
starts with just one tiny little step for everything, and just everything. It's like a domino effect.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So when you started to elevate your energy, did you have like, do you notice your children and your husband start to elevate as well in their own authentic way?
Uh, yes. Well, like I told you, first it was a lot of resistance.
Yeah, of
Like
course.
my husband and my kids were absolutely embarrassed of the fact that I would just go on Instagram and just like dance around. They were like mortified. Their friends used to make fun of them at school. My husband was like, "You have to stop posting things." I was just like, "No, this is really part of my healing process, and I know I'm helping people." So it might sound selfish for a lot of people. Oh, she just thinks of herself and her Instagram and whatever she wants to do and not about her kids. But now I am the closest that I've ever been with my kids. They're not upset anymore. It's not that they want to be featured in my Instagram so
No.
much, no. but they get it now. They grow up and they go like, you know what? My mom is all right. She's okay. She's
Mhm.
happy, and now I see them also doing affirmations, focusing on the positive, letting
Mhm.
themselves be silly. Yes, everyone now we're getting to the point that we are all growing together, and it was very very messy. And if you like anyone that's listening to your podcast, is questioning this awakening, this next step for this journey, it's going to get messy. But that's why there is people like you and me, and there is coaches, and there is places where you can find content, and there is classes, and there is creativity, and there is a lot of things that they will support you into going through the fire. And once you get there, oh my God, you're like, that was amazing. Like so, so, so awesome. And then fear becomes just, we go through everything. We're still going to have challenges, but we're going to see them from a different perspective. We're going to be in a space that we're going to be able to deal with things without being sucked by that energy and having that victim mentality. Because, like you said, your awakening came from a dark night of the soul. It wasn't
Mhm.
like you were laying in the beach in Ibiza and you're like, oh, I'm awakening. No, I don't know if that ever happened to anybody, but certainly not to me. So,
No,
uh,
I went through the fire. Like
yes,
literally the fire.
yeah. So, and how happy are you that that happened? You know?
I am the most grateful.
Yes, at
That
the end of the
person
day,
hurt me more than anyone ever hurt me in my entire life, but it was the best thing that ever happened to me
yeah,
because I
uh,
wouldn't have this business and I wouldn't be sitting here today with you. I
yeah,
wouldn't have healed. I wouldn't have done the work. I would still be stuck. So that's why I want to help people move through that stuck energy, because when you get on the other side, it's rainbows. It's beautiful. It's
Yes.
standing across and having a reflection of you. You know what I mean? And then we're growing together in a safe space. Right? I didn't
Yes.
have a safe space before. I never had community. So when
Mm.
that fire came and I thought I like basically died, and those 2 months were really dark, I started to wake up and it was just beautiful. Just want to
Yes.
go back to your what you just said, because I have to teach with my throat, and I've had generations of women in my family with blocked throat chakra, so much so that they all have thyroid problems, and
Mm.
it's all blocked energy, and it came from, a very strict like our nationality, a very strict background.
Mm.
Women did, we were in the home and took care of the family and had 8 to 10 kids. And, like my mom is the oldest of 9 children,
Oh,
so big families and strict upbringing, like your grandmother.
wow.
But I want to say something to you in a way that you just laid the foundation, broke generational traumas, and do you understand what you did for your grandchildren? They get to grow up in pure soil of authentic parents who know how to go to their root and heal and teach and love and grow. Like, that is the most beautiful thing. So even though you're helping the masses being silly and dancing online, you created a root space for your whole lineage to grow, right?
Yeah.
Where that's what I don't have any children, but if I could teach someone, or like you teach someone to start,
Correct.
imagine the ripple effect in 10 years, 20 years down the road, what the collective looks like. And that's beautiful.
Yes, and generational trauma. You also are healing your ancestors
Yes.
because your ancestors are still carrying all that. We are the rupture, and you are the example. You might not have children, but everyone that follows you is a little bit of your kids. But I do understand what you're saying about the
Mhm.
generational trauma. And I was very intentional. Like I hardly share this, but when I was in all this process and I didn't know what to do, I even went and did a plant medicine,
Mm.
and that's when I saw the generational trauma,
Oh,
like
okay.
mother, grandmother, great grandmother, like all that pain, that darkness. Like you said, we weren't able to speak, like all kind of sickness, like you said, thyroid, cancer, all kind of things
Mm.
because of that, just being so stuck, not letting the energy flow. And yes, I see that I'm doing that, and just letting, like, I have two girls and a boy, and women are the ones that we carry the most.
Mm.
So I'm just so grateful that my children, my girls, are not going to have to walk through that. That they are not going to
Mm.
have to carry my own darkness, and my grandmother and great grandmother and my mom. That's just like is huge. So yes, for everyone out there that's still stuck in that generational, they go like, I mean, my family, they've been having bad lucks in this. Everyone said, yeah, somebody needs to heal that.
Mhm.
Somebody needs to heal that. And I'm happy that now it's more, we talk about this a little more, even in social media. But before, it's like, what is people talking about, right? But now we're more open to that.
Yeah. So what can people do? Like, how can they find you if they want to get your services? So maybe tell us what type of services you offer and then where
Yes.
they can find you.
Okay, so I am an authenticity and inner child healing coach, right? And I mostly help midlife women that they felt disconnected or lost, or either before because of childhood trauma or marriage or careers or motherhood, come back to who they truly are. And I do that through creativity, mostly poetry and art and meditate, all kind of like beautiful creative modalities, because I think that's the language of our true self. So the way that I reach people and I help people come back to who they truly are is through workshops. Every 2 months, I have an authenticity through poetry, coming home to your inner child workshop, where it's a beautiful community where we open up. We work with poetry, we work with music, we remember who we are together. We're vulnerable. We share our story, and we have exercises and all kind of fun things to just do that. I mean, that's this space is like absolutely transformational. When people walks out of there, they are like, I'm just like a different person because they remember who they are. And like we said before, you see other people is just like you,
Mm-hmm.
right? We all want the same things. We all carry wounds and scars. And, it's not our fault, but it's our responsibility to heal. And when we do
Mm-hmm.
that in community, it's beautiful. So my workshops, they're every 2 months. My next one is in June 20 from at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So I would love for everyone that feels inspired by a conversation like that, and I hope you come as well,
Mm-hmm.
to show up. And then I do, of course, one-on-one coaching, which that's exactly what we do. Of course, all the programs are like based on what you are going through. But most of our pain comes from a disconnection and from a story that we've been telling ourselves since we're little. And I read something one time that was like, the story we tell ourselves and others becomes our reality. Change your story, change your life. And for example, poetry let you see the story, and then once out there, it's like you said, you cannot
Yeah.
unsee it, right?
Right.
So that's the story. So let's write the second chapter together based on
Nice.
on you and what you came to this world to be. And just the most beautiful gift that God gave us is to be ourselves, and we all have a gift. I don't care if you're a teacher, a mom, if you work in a restaurant, whatever it is that you're doing, you have that gift.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? What brings you joy? We need to start playing that. We play a lot with curiosity and compassion, to to bring that out of us, our true self, without being scared, because we're not 7 anymore, Sarah, right?
Right.
We can stand up for ourselves. We can
Mm-hmm.
choose. And then also my Instagram, like life coach _ Lorena Garfi. I'm always, putting content, the one that I make, and I also share for people to get support along the way. Because even with my clients, like I'm like, oh, whenever I make content, I'm like, oh, this person will love this and will love that, and it resonates with me, and I put it there, and that too helps so much. So there's many ways. Also, I have, like I told you, a Facebook group, Finding Authenticity with Lorena, where I put prompts every Monday, poetry prompts for you to reflect, to go inside. And my goal is to build a beautiful community where you don't even need me, where as women, whenever we show up there, we have someone to support us. We are being seen, we're being heard, and inspired to remember to go back home to who we are, where we belong.
That's beautiful. That's awesome. I will post the links below as well. So if
Oh, you're
anyone
the
wants
best.
to, yeah, if anyone wants to follow her or take one of her classes, you'll be able to find in the links below. So,
Yeah,
well, girl,
absolutely.
I love you so much. Thank you
I
for
love you
today.
so much. You're amazing. Congratulations. This is
Thank
just,
you.
you should be so proud of yourself and so happy. I'm so, so, so happy that I've been here with you. Oh, you're beautiful inside and out, and I'm going
Oh,
to see you very soon.
thank you. Thank you. Have a good day. Okay.
Thank you. You as well. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.